Hi, this is Ed with another Ritchie how-to video. Today we're going to talk to you a little bit about our winter prep for your Thrifty King unit. The first thing we're going to check on our unit is the all-weather sealant along the base of the unit. This helps keep air and moisture from getting underneath, and you want to inspect that, make sure there's no cracks. If there are some areas that are damaged, go ahead and put a little extra caulking on there to make sure that's sealed up. Okay, another thing we're going to ask you to check for your winter prep for your Thrifty King unit is going to be your water seal grooves. Under your cover, we have a water seal groove here. Make sure that is filled with water. Some people will want to use vegetable oil in there so it won't freeze. Another trick we've heard of is people spraying a non-stick coating like Pam or something like that along their top, and then that doesn't stick so much to the ice. You can get it off a little easier. There's also a water seal groove under your top panel between your base and your top, so make sure this water seal groove is also filled with water. The purpose of the water seal groove is we put water in here and then that water freezes. What that does is it creates the barrier that we need to keep wind from getting into our valve area. That water is supposed to freeze there. If we were to put a gasket in here or along the bottom of the top panel, there's a good potential that that gasket would tear when you removed it. So we found this other alternative of using just a water seal. Okay, the next thing we're going to do for our winter prep for our Thrifty King unit is we're going to lower our water level a little bit. If you have your water level set too high, your ball closure will be tight up against the seal. This creates an area where water will catch, and then that water has more tendency to freeze there. What we want to do is lower that water level about half an inch to an inch. That creates a little bit of a gap around our ball closure. Now any water that drips off will run back into the water and it won't freeze that ball into the top panel. The testing that we have done for these units, we do in our freezer at -20 degrees. And that has shown that with the ball closure set down at this height, your Thrifty King water will lose about 1 degree per hour if left unused. With animals drinking on it, they will replenish that water in there and that'll keep the temperature up. So I'm going to do some testing with my immersion heater. To test this immersion heater, I want to get it cold so that the thermostat in here will go ahead and close. That way my heater will come on. So I got a couple ways I can do that. I can dip that into an ice bucket filled with ice water. I've got a freezer here, so I'm just going to set that in the freezer for a few minutes and let it get nice and cold. Okay, I've waited about 10-15 minutes. Thermostat should be closed now, so I'm going to go ahead and take that out. Oh yeah, good and cold. Okay, so I've got my cold immersion heater out of my freezer. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. And in just a few minutes, actually just a few seconds, I'm feeling it already. This is starting to warm up. Now this is going to get pretty hot. You don't want to keep your hands on it. Yep, my immersion heater is getting hot, so I know that that is working and it's ready to go in my unit. Okay, I've got my self-regulating heat cable still installed on my water line up and around my valve. Just make sure that's looking good. I can make sure that that is plugged in down at my plug-in. And I'm going to take my immersion heater, place that down in my valve chamber. And I'm going to take that cord, and I'm going to plug that into my outlet as well. So now we've gone through the steps for prepping your Thrifty King unit for winter. If you have any questions or want to look at any more Ritchie products, visit ritchiefount.com.